And we are live on Facebook. So welcome everyone. I am thrilled today to announce our newest publication, Milk and Cookies, with our phenomenal author that we get to have here with us live today, Stacey Kirkpatrick. Welcome. I am so happy to welcome you on your launch day of this book. How are you today?
I'm really good. Thank you so much for having me. It's exciting. It's been a long process. You know, people ask me, how long did it take to write? And it's like a year and a half or 35 years, because I've been writing it since I was 16. So, you know, it's finally here.
I love that question because that's what people really want to know, right? About this book process and what really it takes behind the scenes to take it from your head and your heart and get it actually into the pages. So I don't think I realized that you have been writing this since you were 16. What at 16 made you say, I got to put pen to paper on this?
It's been a process. I think at first when I started to write, and it's been different formats, fiction, nonfiction, screenplay, you name it.
Yeah.
And it was, at first I wanted people to kind of just know what I was going through. And then over time, I wanted people to understand me, because it was like, you know, who is this person and why are they the way they are? Because I wasn't a great person. I made a lot of choices that were a result of the trauma I experienced as a kid. That evolved, and over time now, I want people to know that they're not alone, that there are people out there in the world who are going through the kind of things they're experiencing, and that, you know, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a way to emerge from the dark space they might be in and have a happy, fulfilled life, because that's where I am. I mean, It took work to get here, but, you know, I am happy, and it's almost weird to say when you've come through so much.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah. So, you know, that, and you may have just answered some of it there with what you just shared, but really what then was your intention for the publishing of this? Was it really just so people knew that they weren't alone? Was it a cathartic journey for you as well to kind of get some of that healing in the process? Tell me a little bit about, you know, putting this book out into the world, like what that hope and that intention is.
Yeah. And well, I am a psychotherapist locally here in Ottawa, Canada. And, you know, I hear the same stories over and over. There, you know, the details are different, but we're all going through this. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men will experience some sort of sexual abuse in their life. That's a tremendous number of people. Like it's crazy, but we don't talk about it. And so I want to talk about it. I think we need to talk about this. I think people will tell me little tidbits, or they kind of get halfway through and they say, you know, and they lose the words, and I can finish the sentence and they look at me like, what do you mean? It's like, because I've been there. And they feel like, no, I'm the only one who ever thought this, felt this, said this, did this. And I'm like, no, this is normal, unfortunately.
Wow. You're flipping the script on this. So tell me those stats again.
1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men. And I'll be honest, I keep doing research thinking that can't be right. That's an old study that's, you know, out of date, whatever. And everything keeps pointing back to those numbers, because it's like part of me doesn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
But it's true. And you think of, like, you know, 100 people, you know, 50 women, 50 men. That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. So we've danced around the topic a little bit and kind of high leveled it, but tell us what this book is about.
So it's about my experience of childhood sexual abuse. It was started with a grooming process with my grandfather, and that's where the name Milk and Cookies comes from, because my mom used to work the night shift with my grandmother. So they'd carpool to work and I'd go to bed and they would leave, and then we would get up and I would have milk and cookies, and it was our little secret. And that was the beginning, because once you had one secret, you couldn't tell the other secrets. And honestly, I didn't have a name for what he did, because it wasn't some of the things you read about. There was not the explicit sexual abuse from my grandfather, but it wasn't until I was doing my master's degree that I had a title. It was like, oh, he was a pedophile. And just having that name for my grandfather was like, oh my God, you know, he's long since passed. But part of the problem was that that grooming then meant that when my mom's boyfriend later decided to, sexually abuse me, I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't have boundaries. Keeping secrets was normal. Like I'm
Mhm.
telling parents all the time, your kids shouldn't have to keep secrets. There can be surprises, but the difference is a surprise is something that we are eventually going to tell the person. Dad says to the kids, hey, this is a surprise present for mom's birthday. Great. Mom's going to find out in a few days or a week. The secrets are the things that we never are supposed to share. And really, there's not very many of those that we should ever have in our life. We should be able to tell
Right.
somebody. So if an adult is telling you, don't share this, that's a big red flag. And just teaching that to our kids is a big thing.
I think it's important for children and adults, right? Because in any abusive relationship, whether it be, a marriage or, whatever it is, if it's like, we can't say this outside the home or, whatever, why not? Why is there a big secret? Why is there something you can't share? It's all, I think it is something to look at and question, right? Of why things can't be more out in the open and communication can't be more, you know, uh, transparent. And so what will this book do for someone? Who is this for? I should buy this book if. Can you finish that sentence?
I should buy this book
If
if
I'm someone who, yeah,
if I want to know more about, I would say if you know somebody who has experienced this, some sort of sexual abuse, so you can help to understand them. You can know how to
what a
support
great point.
them. You can understand. I would love every adult that deals with teens to know about this, because some of the behavior I had as a teenager, if one adult stopped and said, hey, why is this girl acting this way, and dug just a little bit, maybe something different would have come out of this. Maybe I would have got some help sooner. I was 17 when I finally disclosed, and like was common in, I guess that would have been the late 80s, it was kind of swept under the rug. My mom was super supportive, but at the time I was like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want anybody to know about this. And so nothing was done.
Yeah,
And there was a counselor, but they weren't very good because they didn't know how to deal with this. And
sure.
we're learning a lot. And that's my area of specialization. I help people in therapy dealing with this.
Right.
And yeah.
Absolutely. And so in your book, you're giving tools and you are providing guidance, for going through it and helping someone go through it. Am I understanding you correctly?
I think it's a lot about hope. It's what I did. And did I
Yeah.
do it right?
Yeah.
No. You know what? If there's a long, difficult way to get somewhere, that's the way I seem to do it. And this was the long, difficult path. But even if you choose the hardest path out there, you can get there. It's a book about hope. It's like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a
Yeah.
way through.
There's a way through. There's a
Yeah.
way through. Absolutely. And tell us a little bit about where you are now, Stacey.
I'm married with 4 fabulous kids. My husband is amazing and so supportive because I've learned how to have healthy relationships with a lot of work. I did a lot of work with Jack Canfield. That's how we met,
Yes.
through the seminars. And it's, you know, I went from a job that was okay with the government, but I was like, I want more. I wanted to help people. So now I'm a therapist and I work my own schedule, and I've created a life. And
Yeah.
it's so different now because I never would have dreamed this a decade ago, 2 decades ago, that this was possible.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Wow, I love it. And so this book is about light, it's about hope, it's about transparency. And we have, so much to learn through other people's stories. So you sharing your story and allowing us to walk through this journey with you, people are going to gain so much value from knowing that they're not alone, knowing that there is support out there, knowing that, there is a way through, like you said. And this book is the story to provide you with that. Stacey, thank you for writing this. Thank you for being you. Thank you for showing up. This book is available today on Amazon.com, also available in Amazon in Canada where you are and all over the world. So we are going to post the links of where you can buy this book today to support Stacey. Read this beautiful story of how Stacey is where she is today at this point in her life, how she's been able to overcome. And I just thank you so much for stepping into your voice, stepping into your power, and really showing us what is possible.
Yeah, thank you. Because I mean, the work you do helps women like me to, get our message out and to empower other women. And that's the great work you do. So I appreciate you for everything you do too.
Thank you
Make it
so much.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And happy launch day. So excited for you today. This is just the beginning. We're just getting started. So we will drop those links below. And I want to encourage everyone to buy your book today. Stacey, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
All right. We'll see everyone soon. Bye.
Bye.